Let's get served. Here, a press conference with Pierre Poilievre spotlighting the harsh realities facing Canadians from coast to coast, had people honking in support. In St. John's, food banks are overwhelmed, while in Toronto, the dream of home ownership becomes an ever more elusive dream as mortgage rates soar. Even active military members aren't safe. Defenders of the nation. They are compelled to rely on food banks.
Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. It's amazing to be in the East Coast here in St. John, standing with common sense Canadians for our common sense conservative plan to axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. I was just in Moncton meeting with workers. Soon I'll meet with St. John police, business leaders, and other local common sense Canadians. What I'm hearing so far is that after 8 years, Justin Trudeau is not worth the cost. After 8 years of Trudeau, everything costs more. People have to line up. 2 million Canadians line up at food banks every single month in scenes that are reminiscent of the Great Depression. 32% of charities are turning people away because they've run out of money. 8,000 people have signed up for a Facebook network that shares tips on how to jump into a dumpster in order to get yourself a meal, because that's how desperate people have become. I just learned that a local military base has 50 of its members going to the food bank here in New Brunswick. We've just come from St. John's, Newfoundland, where I met with the food bank there. Their demand is up 45% in 4 years, in part because Trudeau's carbon tax on the farmers and fishers who produce the food and the truckers who ship the food. They're having to bail out other food banks that are worried they might have to go under. After 8 years of Trudeau in St. John's, things have gotten so desperate that families cannot bury their deceased loved ones. There are 28 dead bodies in chilling containers outside of the hospital in St. John's next to a dumpster because their families cannot afford a burial or a cremation. This would have been unimaginable before Justin Trudeau. He's doubled housing costs after having promised to bring them down. Rents up over 100%, mortgage payments up 100%. A down payment takes 25 years to save up in Toronto. You used to be able to pay off a mortgage in that time. 67% of Canadians believe, after 8 years of Trudeau, that the next generation will be worse off than the one that came before. 50 military families in Moncton, New Brunswick, are using a food bank. We have CBC Nova Scotia reporting that Nova Scotians got extreme power bills recently, which are leaving many of them choosing between eating and turning the lights on. There are now 35 homeless encampments in Halifax. All of these things would have been unimaginable before Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau is not worth the cost, not worth the crime, not worth the corruption, and not worth the country we know and love. The good news is life was not like this before Trudeau, and it won't be like this after he's gone. Common sense conservatives are fighting back, and that's what brings me here today. Trudeau's April 1st carbon tax hike of 23% is scheduled to take effect in just a few weeks. April Fool's Day, and with Justin Trudeau and the Liberals, the joke is on.
As we delve into the looming shadow of the April Fool's tax hike in just a few weeks, a policy set to explode the cost of living, gas, food, and you name it, into outer space. Kind of like Elon Musk's rocket that blew up again the other day. Poilievre's plea? Spike the hike on the carbon tax. Get rid of the carbon tax, preferably, but at least get rid of that 23% increase on April Fool's Day. A move that he argues could stem a tide of escalating expensive expenses and possibly the ruin of our economy even.
Will hike gas prices at stations like this one. Home heating bills will rise across the country. Farmers, fishermen, truckers who all bring us food will be paying more and passing on those prices at the grocery store to Canadians who are already starving. That's why common sense conservatives are standing with 70% of Canadians in the polls and 70% of provincial premiers who have called for Trudeau to spike the hike, cancel this heartless and cruel April 1st tax hike. There will be 2 common sense conservative motions before the House of Commons next week. Liberal and NDP members of Parliament will have to decide whether they vote for their constituents' affordable gas, food, and homes, or whether they will vote with Justin Trudeau to dig deeper into the pockets of Canadians who are freezing and starving.
As the narrative unfolds, we're forced to confront a looming question. The coalition's costs versus the conservative counter. With Canada's debt mounting, Conservatives promise an era of austerity, slashing services to rebuild the nation's economic backbone, yet this promises no quick fixes, leaving many to wonder about the sacrifices required for a prosperous future. In this high-stakes chess game of politics, Poilievre seems to be outmaneuvering Trudeau at every turn, but the ultimate question remains: how long will Canadians allow these drastic measures to continue in the quest to diminish the nation's debt and restore economic stability, which we all need, and it all seems like what we want. Let's hope we can all stick to it. That's the problem. That's why we got Liberals in the first place.
All Conservatives, thank you. You can see where people stand here. They're on side with the common sense Conservatives to spike the hike and axe the tax. We have a common sense plan to axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. We're going to have abundant and affordable energy again. Canadians will bring home powerful paychecks that buy affordable food, gas, and homes in safe neighborhoods, and that will be the choice. Either there will be a costly coalition of Trudeau and the NDP who tax your food, punish your work, take your money, double your housing costs, and unleash crime and chaos in your community, or common sense Conservatives who axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. That's the choice. Let's bring it home.
As we wrap up today's episode, we're left pondering the path ahead. Your engagement is crucial. Hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell icon for more deep dives into the political whirlwind, and consider joining our monthly support for around $5. Together, let's navigate these turbulent waters. You've been served. Let's check out this bonus content at the end here.
In Moncton, in Fredericton, can't afford yet another Trudeau tax. What they need is affordable, abundant energy, and that's what they will get when I axe the tax. But the last thing we want is for, after I axe the tax, for there to be another Trudeau-style provincial government that puts it back on. And that's the risk. Whenever you vote Liberal, you should hold on to your wallet because they'll be coming for your money. Thank you.
He just owned the Liberal, sir. It was beautiful.
Bring it home.